Hello, everyone. Today, I am going to report about monitoring and evaluating ACSM program. At the end of this video, I hope that we are able to differentiate and characterize evaluation from appraisal, monitoring, and impact assessment in the context of ACSM, and discuss the importance and challenges of designing and implementing M&E in the ACSM domain. Let's begin by defining evaluation. According to USAID, evaluation is a systematic collection and analysis of information about the characteristics and outcomes of a program as the basis of judgment to improve its effectiveness and or to inform decisions about current or future programming. Evaluation is an important competency for all ACSM professionals in order to provide evidence and establish accountability of a particular program. Evaluation may sound the same with the terms appraisal, assessment, and monitoring. While they are in fact often interchangeably used, distinctions exist between and among them. Appraisal is a critical examination of an ACSM program done before implementation. Monitoring is a continuous process that starts and ends with an ACSM program, which is required for immediate use and for mid-course or mid-term correction. We can consider monitoring as a symptomatic and early warning system. Evaluation is also an in-depth one-shot operation at a point of time, usually at the completion of a project. And finally, impact assessment is focused on longer-term and wider-ranging changes beyond the immediate results of an ACSM program. At this point, I would like to further differentiate monitoring and evaluation and how they relate to one another. First, it is important to note that monitoring and evaluation are symbiotic in nature, meaning that the outcome of monitoring can help conduct an effective evaluation. Monitoring in ACSM is a continuous process of data collection and analysis of the data collected at multiple points throughout this program cycle, including one that is one called baseline at the beginning. It is used to determine if activities are implemented as originally planned, and it helps in deciding in doing midterm corrections based on evidence if it is required at all. Evaluation is a systematic process that attempts to determine objectively the relevance, effectiveness, and impact of activities on the objectives intended to be achieved. Moreover, monitoring and evaluation differ in what is being accomplished in each process. Monitoring means keeping track of what we are doing while we are doing it so that we can make corrective action if necessary. Evaluation, on the other hand, means finding out if we have achieved the effect to our target population that we said that we would achieve after we have finished implementing the activities. If we compare monitoring and evaluation in terms of frequency, monitoring is done continuously and regularly throughout the project, while evaluation is done in episodes, maybe midterm of the project, but mostly towards the end of a particular program or project. In terms of purpose or what is being measured, monitoring is conducted to improve efficiency, while evaluation is conducted to improve effectiveness, to improve impact and future programming. In terms of sources of information, monitoring uses internal documents such as monthly reports, field notes and visits, minutes of the meeting, while evaluation uses both internal and external documents that may also include surveys for pre and post projects, audit results, and consultant reports. In terms of who are involved, The staff within the organization usually undertakes monitoring. They could be your program managers and supervisors, while external staff, consultant bodies, or agencies are mostly engaged in the evaluation process. In terms of end users, the findings of monitoring are usually used by managers and program staff, while the results of an evaluation can be used or utilized by managers, funding agencies, donors, beneficiaries, and other organizations. Finally, the results of a monitoring are used to make minor changes or to fine-tune the program while it is running, while the results of an evaluation are used to make major changes, whether these are in the policy, strategy, and future work. Now that we are clear about how evaluating and monitoring are different but related to each other, it is time to ask, what exactly are we measuring? The answer, of course, depends on what our program was designed to achieve in the first place. If we set the program to achieve a certain level of sustainability, then we evaluate the program based on standards of sustainability. But in general, we evaluate the program to assess its progress, its outputs, outcomes, and of course, its impact. What you see on your screen are the descriptions of inputs, activities, outputs, outcomes, and impacts based on the Kellogg logic model. Inputs are resources dedicated or dedicated to or consumed by the project. Usually it is a noun such as the staff, facilities, financial, and other non-tangible assets. Activities are the project implementations with inputs to fulfill its mission. Outputs refer to the volume of work that is being accomplished by the project. The outcomes are the benefits or changes for participants during or after the project activities. And the impact refers to the long-term consequences of the intervention designed and implemented from inputs to the end of this particular linear model. Evaluation would require the art and science of questioning. For Weiner, this means that we should be able to frame proper questions based on the nature of the approach that we take in doing evaluation, in evaluating our ACSM program. To employ quantitative questions, of course, these questions relate to quantities. They believe in the singularity and that reality is linear. They count or measure phenomena. Questions would include how many, what proportions, how often, and ultimately the numbers are highlighted to tell the story. To do qualitative approaches, evaluators would have to emphasize that questions relate to qualities. This means that evaluators are more concerned about unveiling multiple experiences and meanings and classify events or phenomena based on the target audience or beneficiaries understanding or interpretation of the impact that has been made to their specific everyday life. Questions for qualitative inquiry would involve why and hows, and the words and feelings are more prominently or are given importance in telling the story of how the particular program provided a particular impact to behavior or have induced a particular social action. Here's an example of Weiner's measurement and evaluation of an HIV/AIDS campaign in South Africa. The input, process, and output in this particular case made use of mass media, messages and campaign, social mobilization, and advocacy. The outcome in that particular campaign was measured through the knowledge, attitude, and self-efficacy of the beneficiaries. the outcome and also an impact of the particular campaign is to determine if there are changes in the behavior towards getting uh, STD screening and treatment and minimizing violence incidents. And the impact for such Soul City One Love campaign is about the prevalence incidents, meaning there are lesser incidents or reports of HIV/AIDS infection, and also lesser report of violent cases in a particular community in South Africa. For Dale, however, he asserts that there are 6 analytical aspects of